So, seasons for football or soccer are starting to open up in some places. It's closing here in Idaho because we're going back to stage 2 because for some reason masks aren't required. Is it a dumb rule? Yeah, it's very dumb. But I'm not here to talk about politics and that stuff. We're here to talk about soccer. Now, normally I call it football, but this that we're looking at is actual American soccer. There's a difference. I'll explain that later. So, let's show you this first clip right now. So to review the clip, what you just saw was the 3v3 Live National Championship in Nashville, I believe, Tennessee, maybe Memphis, I'm not sure. But it's the National Championship. And then we see, alright, so first thing we see when we come up on this is we see this guy right here coming in. So this guy coming in at full speed, and at the moment looks like he has no intent to go for the ball. I wish I didn't have to erase this manually. Right now, he has absolutely no intent of going for the ball. So, you watch as he comes in, and he absolutely misses the ball by a mile. Now at first, if you're watching that, you'll think, oh, he just slipped and missed, but no, he did not. We go in, they're counting down, and then he absolutely goes for the player. That is a straight red. I used to be a referee, so I know how all this stuff is. That is absolutely a straight red. He had no intent to go for the ball whatsoever. He was doing it out of a lot of frustration. He was extremely frustrated, and so is this guy right here, who starts mouthing off to the referee and decides that's the best option instead of just working hard. He blames it on the referee, and then the guy that does the tackle does the same thing, gets a red card, starts complaining. He doesn't mouth off as much as this guy, but he does mouth off a little bit, and this guy right here, mouths off a bunch and also faces red for it. So, yeah. Let's talk about why I think this is happening. Okay, so at the moment these days, youth soccer is the biggest problem in America. MLS, not there yet. It's getting better over the years and worse at the same time, but MLS is getting a little better. It's not horrible. I mean, Real Salt Lake's my favorite team, so I'm kind of a big MLS supporter, mostly RSL. But youth soccer, as I've played in it, I've played in it every year except for like 7th and 8th grade, and this year because of Corona. So, youth soccer is a huge problem. I mean, I did play last year at the 3v3. There was a tournament in St. George, Utah. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage, so sorry. But yeah, youth soccer is a huge problem. So what I think is going on with youth soccer, so there's American football coaches that come in and aren't good enough for their sport or something, or they get fired. So they're like, I miss coaching. I don't want to not coach or something. And then they see soccer and think of it as a wussy sport when they're the ones wearing all the shoulder pads and everything. And they try to turn it into an American thing. Or that's the transition from what is actually called football and everywhere else in the world. That is the definition of soccer, is where American coaches, I mean, not like the definition, but American coaches come in, they change it up, make it American instead of an international sport, and that's where it becomes football and then transitions to soccer. So there's the difference there for soccer and football in the UK and everywhere else pretty much except for the US. It's like, let's see, there's more sportsmanship. in most places at least. So players do argue with the ref. In other places, like as you can see on here, the player was mouthing off to the ref like too much, and then got a red card. Players do argue with some of the decisions, but in the end, it's the ref's choice. And then they move on. They don't sit there sulking and complaining about it for the rest of their life. They move on because they know they have bigger problems after a foul. So yeah, they move on with that, and then their coaches are not American football coaches. There's another one. Big difference, and there's sportsmanship in general, not just with the referee, but also with the other players. Most of them congratulate the other players. If they don't, they will eventually. And then there's rivalries. Rivalries are a big part of it, and in soccer, there are no rivalries, like at all. Like, a rivalry is just like where two teams kinda, I'd say, not really, they can't stand each other, but it's just like one way or the other. They keep battling back and forth and working super hard against each other. In soccer, you're enemies, so you absolutely hate the other team. You have no respect for them whatsoever. So that's kind of the big problem in soccer. And then, of course, American football coaches are changing that, telling them always to argue with the referee and stuff. Probably, I don't know. I haven't played with any American football coaches, thankfully, but that seems what I think is going on. So, youth soccer needs to change. Maybe we can learn from the UK and the FA in the UK. So maybe we can learn from them and change our ways and not let American football coaches coach regular football and turn it into soccer. So that's my opinion. So if you guys like this, leave a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and tell me what you think down in the comments below of what you think should be happening, what should go on, what they should do, things like that. So yeah, see you guys later.